Can you reinvent yourself as a parent? And the second part of that is, can you reinvent yourself as a parent in your 30s? Yes. Good morning, lovely people. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. It was busy. I had about 5 orders I needed to fill for my online business, which I just realized I haven't been telling you all what business I do, so I'm going to link it in the description or in the comments. But I make hair and skincare products from scratch, and I love what I do. And last week I got an influx of orders, and so I spent the weekend making the things needed to fill those orders, and this week I'll be shipping them out. Praise be to Allah. I have been praying for my business to take off. I've been praying for a lot of things to just take off in my life, and they have. And I'm telling you, y'all, I'm not just trying to sound like a holy roller. I'm telling you, when you put God at the center of your life, you receive abundance. And you don't do it so that you can receive. You do it sincerely. And that was how I started. I started with just practicing gratitude. I was not even aware of the abundance that I would get in return. I wasn't even expecting this. So I'm just greatly humbled, and I just thank Allah every day, every moment of the day. I'm just thanking him, because just being able to just take another breath, blink my eyes, look around me at all the beauty that God has created, that in and of itself, I'm just so grateful for and so thankful for. And I don't mean to sound cliched, but this is really just how I'm feeling. Like, for real, this is really how I feel. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into today's message. First off, I've written down a lot of ideas, but like a lot of times I notice when I do these videos, it's things that God puts on my heart to say. So a lot of times it's not even what I wrote down to do. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times I wake up and God says, hey, you need to do a video about this instead. And so I just kind of go off my heart. I'm not really formal. I'm not really hung up on how pristine the video looks. As long as you all can hear me clearly and there's not a lot of distractions, I'm good with that, because the point is to get the message to you. And the message that was placed on my heart this morning as I was driving my children to school was, can you reinvent yourself as a parent? And the second part of that is, can you reinvent yourself as a parent in your 30s? Yes, you can. You most definitely can. You may think that because you have children, you have a set routine, you've raised them so far to be one way and you can't change it now, or you already have certain rules and habits and things established. You can change at any point in your life if that's what you desire to do. If it's going to make you better, if it's going to make your family better, if it's going to make you a better parent, if it's going to make your children better, yes, you absolutely can. It may be an adjustment, but you absolutely can. And in fact, this is definitely no shade to the people who don't have children, because they have a lot to offer. And I want to say that too. Don't think that because someone doesn't have children that they don't have good advice to offer you about your children, because they do. Okay? It doesn't mean that what they say is invalid. Okay, we got to get out of this mindset of, well, they don't have children, so they don't understand. Well, they may not have firsthand experience, but it doesn't mean that what they have to say cannot apply or that it can't work for you. So just want to put that out there. I take good advice from those with children, without children, of all ages, younger, older. If you have good sound advice, I have an open ear for it. I don't discriminate with age. I don't discriminate with whether you have children or not. So with that being said, yes, you can. It can be done. I've done it. I'm 33, going on 34, and I have 2 toddler boys. Okay? It was a great shift from being a single woman to being a married woman to being a married woman with children to now being a single woman with children. That's a lot of change going on right there. And if I was able to shift my life and shift things around, certainly you can too. It is an adjustment because you get set in your ways, you get used to you just get used to your routine, whether it's sleeping in a little bit later or eating at a certain time, or you have your schedule set, but you can do it. In fact, if you have children, that's the reason you should do it. To be honest, even if they're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you can still make positive changes and create better habits because they're still looking up to you. And guess what? They're going to look up to you for the rest of their natural lives. Okay? So it's definitely never too late to reinvent yourself. Again, I'm up every morning between 4 and 4:30, sometimes 5, with 2 young toddlers, okay? And I don't go to bed until about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, okay? I don't take naps throughout the day. And no, I'm not just running myself ragged. Sometimes I am pushing it a little bit because sometimes I do feel tired. But for the most part, I actually just don't feel tired throughout the day. I have energy from me doing these things to reinvent myself, making healthy changes, creating better habits. And I want you to understand that creating habits and reinventing yourself shouldn't be a chore. Okay? Because it can get like that sometimes too. Like, oh, I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. Oh, I didn't have my cup of tea. Oh, I didn't take my bath. Oh, I didn't do my yoga. It doesn't have to be a chore. It should be natural. Let it be a natural flow. Okay? Because if you make it like a task list, it's going to start to feel like a job. It's going to start to feel like stress. And you don't want it to feel like that. You want it to feel natural. You want it to feel flowy so that you can continue to do it, so that you can be happy with what you're doing. You don't want to resent what you're doing. So, let's make it fun, make it flowy. If sometimes you don't have a cup of tea, that's fine. Sometimes you didn't get your morning yoga in, okay, get it in at night. Or get it in sometime throughout the day. Or get it in tomorrow. It's fine, Healthy habits and healthy changes that stick require you to be as stress-free as possible. Okay? So don't make this reinvention thing into something that has become yet another stressor on you. Because that's not what it's supposed. Reinvention is coming into the light. It's coming into loving yourself and being less stressed and less anxious, not more. So it shouldn't be a chore. So yes, as a parent of parent of children, like you could be a parent of anything else, but as a parent in your 30s, yes, you most definitely can. And your children, they may not jump on board immediately. Don't expect them to. You're doing this for you, and you are the guiding light for them. So even if they don't jump on board immediately, they may jump on board later because they see the positive change that it's doing to you. And for me, I have toddlers, so they haven't been here long enough to necessarily build habits that they want to change. They're still easily kind of mendable and, moldable. They still follow everything that I do. But even those with older children, don't expect them to change with you, okay? Because you're going to create a battle with that. Instead, you lead by example. When they see those positive changes in you, they may want to jump on board. And guess what? If they don't want to jump on board, you have to understand you're raising another human, another person with their own independent minds, their own independent opinions, their own independent actions and behaviors. Okay? So don't expect them to get on board. Wonderful. Praise be to Allah if they do. But if they don't, all you can do is continue changing for the betterment of yourself and just leading by example. But yes, it absolutely can be done. And if you have children, it absolutely should be done. Maybe it doesn't have to be the way that everyone else does it, but you reinvent yourself in the way that works for you. Okay? Everybody's not on the 5 a.m. thing. If that's just not for you, it's just not. That's okay. Find the pattern that works for you. Small changes. Maybe you're someone who does better with small changes, or maybe you're someone who can bite off a lot at one time and you can handle that. Hey, do what works for you. But all I'm saying is, yes, you absolutely can do it. Yes, you should do it. If you're watching this video, then that means you're probably questioning. Yes, you should do it. Go ahead and answer that call. Start making those positive changes, being a guiding light to your children, and go with the flow. Don't let it be a chore. Don't let it be a job at all. It shouldn't be a job that you feel like you're punching in and punching out. It shouldn't be like that. So, from one parent to another who was in her 30s, I'm telling you, you can do it. It can be done. And I've noticed that since I've started this, my children, their behavior is shifting a bit. So they're toddlers, so they're going to act like toddlers. They're going to, do toddler stuff. But I noticed that their behaviors are shifting for the positive, and I have more patience for when their behaviors are not so great. I'm just going to be honest. They're toddlers. They're not always on good behavior. So my patience is better. Do I sometimes still run out of patience? Absolutely. I'm a person, okay? I am a human, and I'm a parent. Like yesterday, my patience was just shot with my children. They were just on one. And my patience was just shot with that. But I'm noticing that with this journey for me, I'm experiencing less and less instances of patience burnout. I'm having a lot more patience, and I don't beat myself up on days when I don't have patience, because you know what? It's okay for me to feel what I feel as well. Just like it's okay for my children to feel what they feel. So, yes, you can do this. Go ahead and make those changes. If it means you have to get up earlier, or if it means you have to cut, kind of maneuver some things on your schedule to make it work, let's do it. Make it work. But you got this. Again, from one parent to another, I'm telling you, yes, you can do this. Peace.